What's going down?
Yeah, so we're talking about like the Africans and how like some blacks think they're from Africa, but like what about the black indigenous people? Like what about them though?
First of all, what is black and what is indigenous?
Well, like from my knowledge, like from what I've been like watching, they've been saying how they were like they're the real quote unquote natives of America.
What do that got to do with the term black?
Well, no, like black is just an identification, but like I already know you're so deep, right? Like you don't fucking you don't identify with being black or you know what I'm saying?
I ain't really black anyway, but from even what people mean that. But I'm just saying, like, what do that even mean? Like, it's just like I know they trying to I know what they trying to say it mean, but I'm
Oh,
trying to understand from people who accept these things. What do they think it mean for them? Thank you so much for the donation, Cloud Shinobi, aka well shit.
well, like,
But like I'm trying because I mean I don't get it.
well,
You
no,
can't
if anything,
you can't prove a person is black.
well, no. If anything, it's programming, but like it's just weird though because I've been watching Bobby Hemet and he's saying like like black and dark matter, it's all melanin, and that's like what we call black.
Yeah, Bobby Hemet pseudo.
Oh, he's pseudo?
Yeah, that's some pseudo shit.
No, but
Everybody got common sense from every now and then though. But once you got a bias, it's wrong. So once you start hearing people cling on to start saying what Jesus really is and what melanin really is, that's like a picture that we see on Google of people making an Indian god, a Jesus, a black god, it's just a person in their bias trying to relate what the shadow government have taught everybody to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what it is.
wait, no,
Like
wait.
everybody
So,
knowledge on the internet is Mason. Go ahead.
but no, I don't know because like, I've been watching him and like it resonates because he's saying like this world is a place where the giants like when the giants died, they created this world, and then our spirits became.
Yeah, that's Masonic.
Excuse
That's
me.
all Masonic shit.
Oh,
Like I'm Archangel Uriel. I don't remember no giants. I don't
wait a
remember
minute.
all that shit. So when I hear that, I could only trace that to some Masons coming up in their mind of a broad philosophical point of view of looking at the world. And since Bobby Hemet and other individuals like Bobby Hemet like to get
Yeah.
into these books as their form of understanding, being
Okay.
intellectuals
Wait.
or
Wait.
something,
Wait. Let me cut.
they
Let me cut
these
you off
things
there.
sound like this is things we actually do. Hold on, what'd you say?
No, I'm saying but he Bobby is saying though if the white man is putting it in books, then it must be true. Like that's what he's saying because like he puts the truth in plain sight, because he's trying to hide the fact that black people are gods and kings and all that stuff.
Yeah, he's a walking proof. He's a walking example of a nigger lost in a book.
Oh,
All these niggers just lost in books. I don't even know if he might not even be alive. Rest in peace to him. But yeah,
yeah, I think he
everybody,
died. Like he
everybody
transitioned.
is just niggers lost in books.
Wow.
So
Oh,
they only source is regurgitating and coming up with their own grandma Christianity version of it.
but isn't he still valid for doing what he's doing though, or what he did? Because he's trying to wake
What
his
did he
people
do?
up.
Man, ain't nobody woke. Man, ain't nobody done shit. Nobody, we ain't got no business, entertainment, educate from Malcolm X to everybody.
No, he
Motherfuckers
kno-
still crying.
no, he knows
That's
that,
why.
but
That's why
he
when y'all hear my shit, y'all don't hear me sound like nobody
oh
because
no, but
I fight logic against logic. I don't accept nobody's knowledge, not from Bobby's Hemmett's, nobody, because everybody like slow, lost in books.
yeah, no, that's why I like you because you're literally an angel. You're just like using your flaming sword and you're just flaming everybody with like
Like
yeah.
I'm the thing everybody talking about. Whatever Bobby Hemmett was trying to talk about, probably was some shit I was telling people 2,000 years ago, and they got the wrong idea about it. Shit, pseudo. As soon as everybody start talking about different Earths, different planets, somebody put us here and this, that, and the third, nigger
Yeah,
lost in the book.
but if this
Motherfuckers got good
world,
common sense though. People be like all humans got good common sense.
oh Yeah, yeah, I guess. But like, if this world is an illusion, then like, why are we so obsessed with the origin of things? Like, if we're
Shit, I
dreaming
ain't.
this life, right? Like, why are we so obsessed with like the origin of shit? You know?
The only people obsessed with origin is people that's crying for liberation and respiration because they think it got something in it for them. That's the only people you're gonna see going hard for origins is people who think they got something in it for them. Those are the low-hanging fruit individuals that they probably niggers lost in books too.
But okay,
These
so
books is what put people with these people on paths, these dumbass paths.
but wait, so how come uh like you're saying it's just Masons, but I like why would the Masons why would they like they're lying? They're lying in the books?
No, they telling you their spiritual system, and you just got everybody in the world creating their own grandma spiritual system of their shit. So, but right now, the best way I can explain it is how people create grandma Christianity, but everybody do that with the Mason spiritual system too, and then they claim that they stole it. No, they didn't. Thank you so much for the donation. Silverest, call me Sil. I appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Any practice you see going on in the world is Masonic. Because if it wasn't, the people who's using these practices, it'll be working for them. So everybody
But
who crying about we need our old language and all that goddamn
no, but
shit,
that
we have no
wait, hold
power.
on. But no, Dola, that's literally Bobby though. He says like the shit that he's been like he says it works for him. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Hold on, what happened?
No, because you said the Masons they gave us that shit, and then you're saying how like if people started using the Masonic stuff, then we would notice how it works for them. But then I'm saying that's what Bobby says. Like he says like the stuff that he teaches, it works for him.
Yeah, he lost in witchcraft and lost in books.
Oh, oh shit. But so how come you're against nihilism? Like he talks about that too. Like I'm starting to think like that's literally true, especially with like the demiurge and like Yaldabaoth and stuff like that.
Hold on, you said what did I have to do with nihilism?
Because
Y'all the bell thing got nothing to do with nihilism.
okay, so hold on, let me explain. So from what I've been watching from Bobby is how he's saying how like the Egyptians were saying how like this world it's just meaningless, right? And like that's a form of nihilism.
Look,
And
now
and
this
then
what we have to see. Look, this is why I say that's lostness. This we have to understand. When we say things like what the Egyptians said, we're basically saying what the rulers who rules now was saying back then. We not saying, see, when a person lost in a bias, they think they sound intelligent. So when a person want to sound intelligent themselves, they give somebody else way more power that they quote unquote think everybody respect. But this is the witchcraft the shadow government put us in. So
oh
anytime we come out of our mouth and be like, well, the Egyptians used to do this and the Egyptians said that, we're basically explaining what the shadow government doing now, what they did back then. That's their shit. All of it is their shit. The moment we start to speak about it like this is something we need to learn because it's our nature, no, that's the Masonic spiritual system that they did started in Egypt with the
oh.
sons of the light type shit.
So does this life even have meaning, or like we're all experiencing something different?
That ain't got nothing to do with meaning. The moment we tie that to meaning, that's being lost in someone else talking, and the person that's talking lost in books.
So is there even like is reality just like a concept? Like is there like are we not like are we real? Like I'm not trying to sound lost or
That's
stupid. Like
now
I'm just trying to.
that's nihilism. That's nihilism. Yeah, you real. You here talking, ain't you?
Yeah, but I don't know though. It's just like okay, like I just been peeping shit. Like I'm not trying to like argue or like carry this thing on forever. It's just like this life. You don't find this life weird? Like you don't find this shit weird?
You only gonna find in the external world what you put your mind on. So whatever you got your mind on looking at things weird, so you're going to use your
Yeah.
mind to find things that appear to be weird, whatever your mind is in. I don't see the world that way, so I don't look at things that way. But I also don't
Oh.
pay attention to like pseudo shit to put my mind in that kind of mind frame either, though. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Devil.
I was
All
gonna.
that shit is the devil. Cause listen how you might think you're thinking right now, but just think about the fruit that you bear right now. You bearing a lot of confused fruit.
Oh yeah,
So
that's kind of, yeah. No, I hear that. I hear that in myself.
Bobby Hemet just basically confused you.
Yeah, he did. Not really. Like I kind of feel like he confirmed something for me, but yeah, I do hear the confusion like when I'm asking all this shit. So yeah, no, you're right. But like so, okay, now you already have videos on the origins. Oh, okay. So should I listen to you? Like should I follow you or should I just do my own thing?
I wouldn't even have that mind frame. I'd just be open to life. You can learn from anybody while doing your
Oh,
own
okay.
thing. So when
All
you're
right.
doing your own thing, you can only add to it to make it more adjustable, to make it more sufficient. So, whatever you're into at the moment that you resonate with the most, you could use that as attributes to whatever you got going on. But never put it in some type of situation where you're looking for things and what you're looking for, you don't know what you're looking for. Because that's like an idea that people can have sometimes, where
Oh,
you
okay.
think what you're supposed to be doing is looking for something, and that becomes your mission, but you don't know what you actually looking for. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying that's how certain people could be in certain situations and shit.
Oh, okay. So is it right to question my existence?
No, that's not right. You here. Why would you
Or
question your existence if you
why would
exist?
I? Okay.
That's nihilism. Nihilism, some Mason created, some Jesuit created nihilism for atheists that go against religion. It kind of stops there though. It ain't no real science or anything of that nature.
So
But
why
a
why
bunch of
is
hypotheticals.
so why is nihilism flunked? Like why is that flunked out? Like why is it not valid in your eyes?
Because for something exists for it to even start to vibrate slow. So they're coming purely from the basis of saying, before we made this tough material like the skin and rocks, they're coming purely from a mental based, and they're basically trying to say we're experiencing that vibrational level of that mental space right now, so we should question ourselves right now. And that's where they get lost. They forget that system. What they're trying to explain, you already passed that system for you to be physical. So you exist. So you can't explain a system we was previously
Oh,
at. You can't
okay.
explain a system we was previously at like we still that system. No, it's a transition. In order for the mind to bend in on itself, to vibrate slow, for us to experience time and reality, okay, it came from the space of it being mental and going through walls and it not existing and things of that nature. But you
Oh,
don't get to take that hypothesis and say that that's what we're actually experiencing every day. That's retarded. It's a transition from that. But that's basically nihilist mind frames. They just got lost in some type of philosopher's mind, some Greek philosopher's mind.
oh, okay. So, would you agree that Yaldabaoth is the god of the Bible, or no?
Yaldabaoth is the demiurge of the Gnostic text.
Yeah, but sorry, I'm going back to Bobby again, but he was saying how that's technically the god of the Bible. Like, would you agree on that? Like, do you have an opinion on that?
Well, it depends on what you mean by God. Now, if he
Well,
just saying God from being a Christian, because a lot of his shit is like Christian, but all of it is the same. From Egypt to Mesopotamian to all of it, they're all the same stories, just different
oh,
names and different. It's the shadow government starting way over there in the east and bringing their mind state more west, 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 and west on the east is just going over the river and going
mm,
into the lower parts of Africa. And then that's when they come and expand themselves in England and all this other motherfucker shit and create Rome. But when people argue for or against these things, like they need to pick one of these things, they don't
yeah,
understand the starting point. But when you start to say like, is Yaldabaoth the god of the Bible and Jesus that Yaldabaoth is a story just like Osiris. Osiris and all that is all the same shit. It's the same thing. The demiurge, Elohim, is this all? It's the government starting point, intellectual property on how to worship the light, because and their light is what gave them the information on how to build civilizations. So anytime they have descendants based on oral tradition, they come up with a different shape and form with the same energy. to match that land mass with that up as above, so below seasonal transition on how that land moved, going more to the right. I mean, going more to the west. And based upon whatever indigenous people was there or whoever indigenous people that they brought after they civilized them and create a civilization there and this motherfucking shit. But it's all the same shit. That's why you see the stories be similar.
Oh, so you were just saying Osiris is basically the demiurge, right? Is that what you just said, or
Right.
no?
Yeah, right.
And why is that again? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You said why?
Yeah, you just said I asked you if Osiris is basically the demiurge, and then I didn't hear you. So I just want to know why, like why he's like why?
Because
Like
all story. Because look, we have to understand it from the starting point.
okay.
They're trying to use things to convey a message to the people that they don't think understand it. So if they want to explain the sun to someone, they'll put a face in front of it that look like them and shit. But if you understand the story, the narrative, you will know what message is trying to be conveyed. So anytime you hear things like Elohim, Osiris, the demiurge, is basically explaining the desires. The whole story is about a desire about something. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you'll be able to
Oh,
find the center and all the little different shapes and forms of them creating oral tradition behind. But it's all the same practice. And it ain't, and this how you debunk it ain't somebody's race to say they stole it. There's no such thing as people being in totally two different geographical locations and coming to the same conclusions, the same type of architecture, the same type of, we can't even see that locally. Two groups of Indians wasn't
yeah,
even
that's
making the
very
same
true.
kind of wasn't even making the same kind of teepees. So that lets you know if we
Yeah.
have one type of intellectual thought that came from Abraham, the first worldview, the first one world government. That's a different name for first world government. This coming from a group of people bringing one practice everywhere to place. Another geographical location ain't gonna come up with the concept of making a pyramid like another one. No, this is something that's being brought. Same way how flags being brought, and they try to make us think they landed on the moon. Thank you so much for the donation, Silver Rest. Let me answer this question. You said, why do melanated people face more hardships on global scale than non-melanated people, or are hardships? Who is melanated people?
Well, you see, there's that again. Is like that's a good question. Like a lot of us have like he obviously watches like what I watch, because like they say like black people is really Jacob in the Bible, and that and like our tribulations with the police and white racism is our trouble, like Jacob's trouble.
Jacob is just a thought form. So anybody who act like Jacob, they got to become Israel. And if they don't become Israel, they're gonna
Yeah.
get lost. They're gonna lose to their desires. They ain't wrestle with God right, aka your higher thoughts.
Weird.
Anybody claiming they a group of people from Jacob as an actual person, are they flunked out? The Jews mean it in this way. You a person that think like that, and the Jews had that thought form first, and they gave you this book to know that they did it before you, so you don't act that way. But people will act that way and use the Bible to argue against others, not knowing that this is telling you what not to do, and it's motherfucking shit. But people get lost, so I guess they don't understand.
Okay. And is Osiris and all of like his buddies in the Egyptian pantheon, like they're not real, right? They're just like metaphors
Yeah,
for
it
something.
ain't real.
Okay.
Yeah, Osiris is a metaphor for what the Greeks call it right now, Orion.
So Bobby basically saying how the gods are black. He's just lost. Like that's not true at all.
Yeah, he's lost. All God concepts come from the cuneiform and the hieroglyphics, as above, so each second, minute, hour, and week, and month and year, it was called different deities. And people throughout the time, especially the sheep at that time, their
Okay.
mind frame was to have it be gods. So anyone in today's time teaching the concept of God supposed to be this or just that and third, this, that, they're just niggers lost in books. They don't know what they're talking about. They just retarded.
Damn. So is Gnosticism flunked out too?
Yeah, all of it. All Gnosticism is based on fall.
It's based
Anytime,
on.
any ancient text about the demiurge is basically about the stars or humans' experiences from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. in the morning, or motherfucking fall time and going through winter time. And it's just a whole bunch of allegories and Osmosis Jones stories and books and cartoons about it. So when you hear Jailman knowledge, and shout out to Bobby Hemmett though, but when you hear Jailman knowledge about these things, just look at it like, okay, that's another version of grandma Christianity. Someone lost in books, so they came up with their own concept of what they thought was actually real about something.
Okay, interesting. So like, what's your beef with like the whole African thing? Like you just don't.
Your last question too, though. What'd you say?
Oh no, it's cool. So actually, you can just kick me out now. I was saying
Right,
so like you're yeah, just get me out of here. It's cool.
What's my beef with? Last question.
Oh, okay. No, I was just like, it doesn't really matter, but I was just gonna ask so like, what's your beef with the whole African thing? You just think like black people, like them niggers out there, they're just being stupid, and like they don't have a goal, like they don't have a dream of, like, when they find their identity, like, you're like, oh, now what? Like, you think they're just stupid or something like that, like they're being dumb.
Well, I'm not necessarily coming at it from a race perspective. I'm coming at it from an intellectual perspective.
Okay.
I'm basically telling y'all that all Africans ain't black, and then what is black? So
yeah, that's what I was saying.
So I'm coming at it from a racist perspective. Me saying that Africans is stupid because people think that Africans mean black people. I don't even know where that argument came from. And
that's so true.
And who even that argument is
where
stupid.
did it come
from? But
the
people on the internet, they talk like that in Jailman knowledge. They talk like that in jail. So they think when they say African, we need to go back to Africa, that means all black people. That I'm not even talking to them, but just for the intellectuals, it's based upon. So I'm not hitting it from a racist perspective. I'm basically saying that Africa is a geographical location, and all races is over there. Berbers, Arabs, Somalians. Like, so we got to get specific, because black don't mean anything. What race is you? And I'm an intellectual. That's how I'm attacking it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, yup, shout out to Tron.
All right.
We're down.